Now imagine an aircraft that doesn't just fly, it sees everything, hundreds of miles away. Fighters, bombers, drones, even ships moving quietly across the sea. Before satellites became the stars of the intelligence world, the E-3 Sentry was already up there, circling like an aerial referee, managing the battlefield. It looks strange, a large jet with a massive rotating disc mounted on its back. But that disc isn't just metal, it's the brain of the operation. The E-3 doesn't fire missiles, it doesn't chase anyone down. Yet without it, air combat becomes nearly blind. In major operations, this aircraft has coordinated hundreds of fighters at once, keeping the sky from turning into chaos. It's basically a flying control tower, mobile, military, and always ready. In this video, we're going to see how this radar giant works and why, after all these years, it still hasn't left the sky. Because sometimes the most important weapon isn't the one that shoots, it's the one that sees everything. So what is the Boeing E-3 Sentry? At its simplest, the E-3 is a flying radar station. But saying that is like calling a smartphone just a phone. Technically true, but it misses the point. The E-3 Sentry is an airborne warning and control system aircraft built by Boeing, based on the Boeing 707 airliner. That civilian airframe was transformed into a full airborne command center. The large rotating dome on top, called the rotodome, constantly spins, scanning hundreds of miles in every direction. And it doesn't just see. The E-3 detects aircraft, identifies friend or foe, determines speed and altitude, and even directs friendly fighters to their targets. Think of it as air traffic control, but in the middle of combat, where every decision can be life or death. Inside, operators sit at radar consoles tracking hundreds of targets at once. In air warfare, confusion equals disaster. The E-3 was built to prevent exactly that. Here's something important. The Earth is round. Ground-based radars can't see beyond the horizon, but when you lift the radar high into the sky, that limitation almost disappears. From altitude, the E-3 can monitor targets more than 250 miles away. The E-3 doesn't enter dogfights, it doesn't launch missiles, but it makes sure everyone else can fight smarter and more precisely. Some wars aren't won by weapons, they're won by information. The E-3 Sentry was born out of Cold War fears, the fear of surprise attack. In the 1960s, ground radar systems had serious limitations, especially against low-flying aircraft that could slip underneath radar coverage. That gap was dangerous. The solution was simple but revolutionary. Take the radar off the ground and put it in the air. Before the E-3, the US used older propeller-driven early warning aircraft. But when the jet-powered E-3 first flew in 1975 and entered service in 1977, it marked a new generation of airborne early warning. A total of 68 were built. Not many, but each functioned like a flying command center. Its real proof came during the 1991 Gulf War. E-3 crews coordinated thousands of sorties and helped coalition forces establish air superiority within days. Their role wasn't just detection, it was management, preventing deadly mistakes and accelerating decision-making. The E-3 didn't become famous for speed or stealth, it became famous for changing how wars are fought, shortening the time between detecting a threat and responding to it. That shift still shapes modern air combat planning today. Design-wise, the E-3 is a hybrid. Its fuselage comes from the Boeing 707, but inside, it's essentially an airborne intelligence and command center. Nearly everything was redesigned for surveillance and control. The first thing you notice is the massive dome above the fuselage. The rotodome measures about 30 feet in diameter, weighs roughly 12,000 pounds, and rotates at about 6 revolutions per minute. It's mounted separately from the fuselage to reduce vibration and keep radar imagery stable. The result? Continuous 360-degree coverage, like a lighthouse sweeping the horizon. Despite its bulky appearance, the E-3 performs well in flight. It typically operates at around 30,000 feet, where it can monitor more than 115,000 square miles in a single sweep, roughly the size of a mid-sized U.S. state. Technically, it's about 152 feet long, has a wingspan of 145 feet, powered by 4 TF-33 turbofan engines, cruises at roughly 530 miles per hour, and has a range exceeding 5,000 miles. A typical mission lasts 8 to 12 hours, but with aerial refueling, it can remain on station for over 24 hours. Inside, it feels more like a mobile operations room than an airplane cabin. Multiple operators sit at radar consoles, analyzing targets, directing fighters, and building a real-time picture of the battle space. The E-3's true strength isn't just its radar, it's its endurance, continuous presence, no blinking, because in modern warfare, situational awareness is a weapon. The real power of the E-3 isn't in its engines or size, it's in its eyes. The ANPY-1 and ANPY-2 pulse Doppler radars inside the rotating dome can distinguish moving targets from ground clutter. Even low-flying aircraft trying to hide in terrain aren't easily missed. Under favorable conditions, it can detect targets from more than 250 miles away and track hundreds simultaneously. But detection is only part of the mission. Distribution matters just as much. Through secure data links like Link 16, the E-3 transmits information in real time to fighters and command centers. A pilot can receive targeting data without turning on their own radar, reducing their visibility and increasing survivability. Inside the aircraft, operators divide responsibility across sectors of airspace. Using systems like identification, friend or foe, IIF, and electronic surveillance measures, they build a complete picture of the battlefield. In reality, the E-3 is less an aircraft and more a flying information network. And in modern war, information equals dominance. The E-3 Sentry doesn't shoot, it manages the fight. From high altitude, it oversees the entire scene and directs fighters where to go, who to intercept, and what to avoid. It's an aerial conductor, preventing chaos and fatal mistakes. By operating above the battlefield, it detects threats earlier than ground radar and buys critical minutes of reaction time, minutes that can change the outcome of an engagement. Beyond combat, it's also used for air defense, maritime surveillance, and security missions. It may not look flashy, but its role in controlling the skies is vital. What makes the E-3 remarkable isn't that it was good in the 1970s, it's that it evolved. Instead of retiring quietly, it was upgraded, step by step. The original E-3A laid the foundation. The E-3B improved resistance to electronic warfare and made the aircraft harder to jam. The E-3C introduced major digital processing upgrades, enabling faster tracking and better data sharing. The biggest leap came with the Block 4045 modernization program. Mission computers were essentially rebuilt, processing speed increased, the number of trackable targets grew. Old analog displays were replaced with modern digital systems. The E-3 Sentry was never the fastest aircraft. It wasn't stealthy. It didn't carry bombs. Yet for nearly half a century, it quietly reshaped how air warfare is conducted and how airspace is controlled. Its genius wasn't brute force, it was perspective. By lifting radar and command systems 30,000 feet above the Earth, it changed the tempo of decision-making. It gave commanders time. And in combat, time means advantage. The E-3 wasn't just technology, it was a philosophy. See first, understand first, act first. That mindset now defines network-centric warfare, and every new generation of airborne early warning aircraft builds on that foundation. Airframes may retire, the concept does not. The E-3 proved that before a missile is ever launched, information decides the outcome. And that spinning radar dome, it became more than hardware. It became a symbol of awareness and control in a sky that's always one step away from chaos. Thank you so much for staying with us until the end of this video. Don't forget to leave a comment and share your thoughts with us. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this.